Can I give you a list of questions to ask a literary agent? My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. This list is never as quick as people think it is going to be, but I'm going to try to speed run through it a little bit here because they asked for a short list of questions. So first, you want to know what their vision is for your book, and they should be talking about this pretty quickly. They should be very excited about the book. That's the thing they are most excited about. So if an agent has emailed you and said, I really love this, can we set up a call? They are not yet offering representation, but they are feeling you out. They are very close to offering representation. And most of the time, that call results in an offer of representation. But at the end of this, you both might be like, yeah, this doesn't feel great. We're not going to do this. And that's okay. But prior to them sending you that email, they have read your book, your synopsis, and they have looked around online to just like make sure that there's like a general vibe check that you are going to probably not be a monster to work with. And so coming in that sort of vibe check online, there's not usually a lot of conversation about that. And so they're going to be very excited about talking about your book. So that should be a very easy conversation opener in which they are going to talk about the things that they liked, the things that they maybe would like to see you change, and where they think this book is going to fit into the market. They should have an idea of sort of what a sub list is kind of going to look like. Don't expect them to have done all of the work of preparing a sub list because you haven't even said yes yet. But they should have sort of like an idea of what these submission plans are maybe going to look like. They should be able to say like, I've sold things similar to this to these mid-size academic presses, and so I would start there and I would pitch it as this kind of a way. Or I really think that this is going to do best at these really small imprints at these two big five publishers. Like that's where I'm going to start and see if they're interested. They should have a general sort of idea of kind of what they are looking to do as far as submission plans, but please don't expect details at this level. We should then also have, if we are excited about the book and what that's going to do within the market, and have some like general submission plans, that means that they should have sort of an idea of what your career could potentially look like. Are they expecting to position you as an expert within a field? Are they expecting to position you as the next so-and-so within a certain genre? This is where you get to ask the question that shows up in my comments every single day. What if I want to pivot and switch genres? This is where you're going to have that conversation. You're going to talk about like, yeah, I've written a lot of fantasy, but I also have a lot of romance stories in me. Would you be able to represent both of those? How do we go about managing this if I do decide to pivot to romance? Do we part ways? Does somebody else at your agency step in? Do you have a co-agenting situation? Do I have two different agents at different agencies? All of these are potential answers to this, and none of them are wrong. You just want to know what the situation is going to be. They should be able to talk about their previous publishing experience and or their sales record. You can have a brand new baby literary agent who has never sold a single thing ever. They should, however, have one of two things if that's the case. They should have previous publishing experience, so they can be a brand new agent who used to work in editing for 3 different big 5 publishers, so they've got contacts all over the place and they already have the network in place. Great. Or they are a brand new baby literary agent who has never sold a single thing, but they are working at an agency and they are being mentored by this person, and this person has a sales record. That's fine. Brand new agents tend to be the ones that are open for queries a lot. They tend to be the ones that are hungrier. And so you're going to have it, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to talk to a brand new agent at some point. Don't discount them because they are just new at their job, but they should have one of those two things. Either they have publishing experience or a mentor, or this is an agent who is experienced and has a sales record that they can point to. This information can be verified on authors' websites, on publishers' marketplace. This can be verified by like looking in the back of these authors' books, and they will thank who their agent is, right? Like this is pretty easy for you to verify. And agents, I don't know that they're really gonna lie about this because it is pretty easy to verify. I don't know why this has been a thing that people have been very nervous about in my comment section lately, so I just thought I would address it. Then we get into some of the questions that may or may not be a little bit uncomfortable to talk about. So we want to talk about long-term plans. Is this agent planning to be an agent for a really long time? Do they sort of see this as like a stopover in their career and they're not even really sure if they like this? Okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But what happens if this agent quits, dies, retires, changes agencies? Do you get put to a different agent at that agency? Are you going to be able to follow them where they go? This should all be just sort of like part of the conversation. This is uncomfortable, but you are embarking on a career with this person, so you do want to know what is going to happen if they decide not to be doing this career anymore. Ask them about their communication style and if there is a clash here. So if they want to do emails only and they're going to respond every couple of days, but you want to have lengthy Zoom calls with them, you are going to have to be the one that compromises because you are just one client. They already have a stable of clients who are happy with their communication style and who are working with them on this. And so you're going to have to be the one that compromises. Are you willing to do that? Are you able to make the adjustment to be able to work with them in the way that they feel most comfortable? And it's okay if the answer to that question is no. No, I'm not willing to compromise on this. I do need someone who speaks to me the way that I want to. Okay, that's okay. You have information now, and now you can make a decision. There's not a wrong answer to what's your communication style. I mean, I guess the wrong answer would be like, yeah, I get to it when I get to it. And if I don't respond to you for 6 months, that's your problem. That would be a wrong answer. I don't know that anybody would ever say that or like purport to be good or right if that was their answer. But by and large, there's just different styles and you either are able to work with it or you're not, and you're not a terrible person for saying like, ooh, I don't know that I can do Zoom calls every week, that doesn't feel comfortable. That's okay. You're not able to do that, and so this isn't the right match for you. What would their other clients say about their style and the way that they work together? They ought to be able to point you to one or two people to be like, you know what, I've had a working relationship with this person for like 5 years. She would say great things about me. Think about this sort of as like job references. They are not going to turn over like personal emails and phone numbers for you to get in touch with like big name authors or anything like that. But you also can do some of this yourself. So like if you get the email that says, I would like to have a conversation and discuss your book and representation, and you look at their client list and like DM some of them and be like, hey, I'm meeting with your agent on Monday. Can you tell me anything about this relationship? And if you get a message back that says, yeah, I don't even consider her my agent anymore, I've been self-publishing for 5 years, that says something. Most likely you're going to get like, yeah, great, good luck, I love working with her, that's wonderful, good luck. Like, these clients are not going to give you a bunch of time, they're not going to answer interview questions, you're not going to get this level of conversation with those other clients. But like, are they tagging their agent on social media? Are they thanking their agent in the back of their books? Do these clients and this agent look like they have a possible good, like positive relationship? That's sort of what you're feeling out here. Is this agent involved editorially? Do they think they're going to be making a lot of changes to your manuscript, or do they expect you to do that work with your writing group? Again, there's not a wrong answer here. Some authors really want to keep working with their writing group and they're going to send their agent basically like a final version of the manuscript, and that's good and great. Other authors are like, I have had a real struggle getting to this point. I don't have a good writing support group. I really need you to be involved from the beginning. Also good and great. There's not wrong answers to most of these things. These are just like, does your expectations fit with what they are able to offer, and vice versa. Subrights, there is a right answer to this one. So subrights, they either want to have somebody, you want them to have somebody in-house who handles subrights, or they have contracted with another agency in order to handle those things. The wrong answer here is, we don't need subrights because we just sell World All for everything. They're just leaving money on the table. That's the wrong answer. So they should have a way to handle this. How are they going to support and handle failures alongside you? And by failures, I should have put like air quotes around this because these aren't failures. These are just things that are going to happen. If you have a book die on submission, does that mean our relationship is over? If I have a book die on submission, does that mean that I get kicked to the back of the queue? What do we do? How do we pivot? What do you see as like, at what point do we reevaluate? 2 books die on submission? 4, 7? Do we switch genres? Do we like, how have they handled this with other authors in the past? And do they have a positive view of the fact that things can go wrong and you can still have a successful career? And then you're going to talk about next steps. I need 2 weeks to make a decision. What would an agency agreement look like? What would we do from here? Would we dive straight into submissions? Would we instead be doing edits? Would you send me back to do edits on my own without your involvement? What is next steps going to look like? This is sort of like a general idea of what you would expect that conversation to look like on a call with an agent.